Hello, my name is Jennifer, and this is my final project. I've titled it Rimas Y Canciones, which is applying current research in emergent literacy to teaching Spanish to young children. And for my project, I've made a research file, which is available in the folder, as well as a quiet book. And so this is my quiet book I will be showing to you now. The original quiet book was going to have a sewn cover. This cover is a photo binder, a photo album, and so the pages, which were originally 9 by 12, had to be cut off, but even then they're sticking out some, so I apologize. In the future I would want to make a cover for it that would fit better. I have included 5 rhymes or songs from Latin American culture, and I have provided them in music form as well as here for the child and the teacher to go through together. The first rhyme is Los pollitos dicen, and in this rhyme we have the little chicks, which are the pollitos. Here is the nest. In the nest, the egg can come out of the nest, and you can take out the finger puppet, which is the little chick. So the child can reenact the rhyme by himself. In the rhyme, the little chicks get hungry and cold, and so their mama, hen, the gallina, has to look for corn, which can be taken off and played with. It's also beaded, so there's another texture. And also she looks for wheat to give them. The hens also get cold, so they can go under their mother hen's wing and snuggle down there, and she takes care of them and they can sleep. The nest has straw on it, so they can feel the straw, and you can talk about how things feel as well. You can also use prepositions as you label about how things are under the wings or how they are inside the egg or in the nest. So that is Los pollitos dicen. The second rhyme is Cucú cantaba la rana, and la rana is the frog. The frog cries, and the sound that he makes is cuckoo, and I should point out that the pollito, the chick, says POP, and so that's like peep, 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 and so they can be learning the sounds that the animals make as well. We teach them in English, and so you could also teach them in Spanish. The frog can go in and out of the water. This is a flap here of vinyl, and the frog is also a finger puppet, so they can put their finger in it and manipulate it, and they can reenact or retell the rhyme with the frog that way. In the rhyme, the frog cries because of 3 people who walk by, and these are the people over here. They each have their own pocket. They're labeled with a symbol, so you've got some symbol recognition going on. You can talk about women and men, or you could also use the Spanish words here for chico, chica, or niño, niña, or mujer, and whatnot. In the rhyme, there's only 1 girl, and I provided 2 so they can pick. I've tried to use the color of skin that would be more familiar for a Latino or Latina. The dress comes off as well, so they can change clothes. You could talk about the hair color or anything like that as well with these. The dresses are the long dresses in the rhyme that it talks about. Then the rhyme also has 2 men in it, and the first man is the caballero. Sorry, his shirt doesn't want to stay on. The caballero has a sombrero and a capa, a cape, and I've tried to make him look a little bit like what you would see the mariachi players would wear. And then there's the sailor, and he has a little sailor hat there. And their clothes also come on and off, so they can do that. And the sailor has the rosemary that he carries, and the frog asks for some, and the sailor doesn't give him any, and that's why he cries. So you can also talk about feelings and what makes them feel sad. Here we also have other interactive details that are not part of the rhyme. You have up here the fly that flies across on the string. The frog can catch it and eat it. We also have the frog eggs here, located in the pond. And under the flap of the lily pad, you have a tadpole. It's attached with a magnet. Right there's where the magnet goes. And you can take the tadpole out, and you can put it in the water. I've tried to, again, provide different textures. So this one has the netting here, kind of like the fish, the tail of the tadpole. And the pussy willows are fuzzy, so you can talk about those textures as well. For the next rhyme, or a song, this is actually a song. It's Dale, 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 and it's a piñata song. It's a song that would be sung for breaking the piñata open, and it basically means hit it. And originally I planned to include a stick on this page, like just with a pipe cleaner in it to hit the thing with, but that did not get done due to time, but you could add that later very easily. The flaps of the piñata are colored, and when you open them you have the bead that matches with the number. So the first number 1, or uno, has the 1 bead. The things next to it, the ribbons, are also pink. Then number 2, when you open it, there are the 2 beads. You have 3, 4, 5, y 6. And so you can talk about the colors and the numbers on this page. Again, you have symbols here, so they can be tracing the symbols with their finger, and they can say the word, 5, and they can begin corresponding the number and counting the number and getting some symbol recognition with that. So that's Dale, Dale, Dale. This is a very song that would be sung for any kind of celebration. Lots of times they have a piñata. Christmas, posadas, you'd have a piñata. My next song I chose was De Colores, sung almost all over the Spanish-speaking world. And this is the first page for De Colores. There's 2 pages, but this one had to be on this page. And the first part of the song speaks about the springtime and the birds and the flowers. So this page is about springtime, birds, and flowers. The first bird you have is the owl, who can come in and out of the tree. He's attached so they won't lose it or choke on it. And he also goes back in his hole. Then there's a flap up here that has a nest and another bird in it underneath the flap, so it gives them another thing they can do and look at. And again, you can talk about spatial words and prepositions from that. The flowers attach with a magnetic snap, which is easier than the regular snaps. So they can take the flowers off and they can put them on. The flowers correspond to color with the orange and the orange. So you could talk about some color words with that as well. There we go. The second part of De Colores is the rainbow, the arco iris. And this is my rainbow. It goes into the cloud pocket, and it's in a ring, so you can even talk about the circular shape. The pieces are stored in the lower cloud pocket. There's a beaded necklace they could wear. It's safe, it won't come apart. And they can take the rainbow pieces of the arch, and they can snap them on and take them off. And the rainbow has the color words written on the puzzle pieces. So here's rojo, anaranjado, amarillo, verde, azul, and violeta. I chose violeta because even in English we say violet instead of purple. So if you wanted to teach the general word for purple, you could use morado instead. So this is a great manipulative they can play with, and again it has some print, so you are helping reinforce some print recognition as well as learning vocabulary words. You have the sun here, so you could talk about the sunshine in the daytime, and the clouds again are made of a fluffy type of fleece, so it's very soft and plush, and so you could add some more words about that, descriptions about that. And again, the white color is here, so you could add white into your talk and of labeling. The last song I chose was A la Nananita Nana, and that is a lullaby, and it talks about a mother rocking her little baby to sleep and telling a fountain and a bird in a jungle to hush and be quiet while her baby goes to sleep. So I couldn't do everything in the rhyme, so I figured I would focus on the baby sleeping. And here's the cradle, the cuna, and the baby can go in and out of the cradle. My daughters like this page. They want to tuck the baby in, so they tuck her into the cradle, actually, instead of leaving the thing hanging out. My other daughter's very insistent that the teddy bear be able to go into bed with the baby, so it can. And the baby also has toys, the ball, little bead toy, like a stack here, and a block here. And she has a book, her own little book, that she can read, and the book has the shapes on it, the heart, the circle, the square, and the triangle. And the book itself is a rectangular shape. So you could also talk about shapes and label the shapes in Spanish for them. And then you have the curtains here and the night sky. You have the moon and the stars, which contrast with the sun. So you have all of the heavenly bodies that you could talk about. And the stars are supposed to be in the shape of a constellation, and the constellation is supposed to be the Big Dipper. So my husband couldn't recognize that, so I hope you can. So that's the Big Dipper. And so you could also talk about how stars make pictures, and you could use that to they could make their own pictures with stars. But that is the quiet book part, so the child can manipulate all of the objects. They can retell or re-sing the songs, and they can have the words reinforced by seeing and touching them, and it becomes more meaningful to them. The vocabulary becomes more ingrained. The second part would be the part that would be for the teacher. Most of that is online. This is a little bit about what it would look like. You have the words to the song, and I have a keywords page, and I also have a translation already provided on a folder in line. It talks about the different keywords you could use with each song, and that way the teacher, especially for someone who's not as familiar with Spanish, could be able to know what the words mean and what they're referring to, and could label the words for the child. Some of the translations out there are not literal. In fact, they often sometimes have nothing to do with actually what the rhyme says. They just sound good because they tried to make the rhyme an English rhyme instead of giving a literal interpretation. So this will help the teacher. So that is available in the folder as well as other ideas for the teacher to use in teaching these things, and as well as the songs and some of the music, sheet music for the rhymes. That is all available online. So thank you for looking at my book. I had fun making it. my girls already have fun playing with it, and maybe that will help reinforce some of the Spanish they've learned. Thank you.